Hi everyone, hope you're all okay. Right, today I'm going to show you how I bleed brakes. There's two ways of bleeding that I'm going to show. One is by a vacuum method, which is a little device that we actually suck the fluid out, and the other one's a manual way. I was going to do the manual on the back brake and the vacuum one on the front, however it's in Aprilia, so the brake pedal's on the right but the bloody brake caliper is on the left, so we'll use the vacuum method on that one and use the manual flushing on the front one. Not too bad today, weather's a bit brighter, the sun's decided to show its head, but it's bloody still cold and it's windy. So when we've done that, I'm going to run the bike up for a cold start again on this 50-50 mix of E5 and non-ethanol fuel, see what happens, and we'll get it to engine temperature, and then what we'll do is we'll drop the gearbox oil and you hear that wind. We'll drop the gearbox oil, leave it overnight, and tomorrow we'll top it back up again. And then what we'll do is move the bike out for now. When the weather gets a little bit warmer, might look at starting on the petrol tank again, and hopefully get all that connected with its new vacuum petcock, and try running the bike off the fuel tank, and then see how we go from there. Okie dokie. Okay, we're going to do the rear brake first, and if you just look underneath there, that's the reservoir under there. I just took the nut off there, so we're going to take that out and have a quick look at it. My hands get in the way, that's just tough. Okay, that's the reservoir out. So I just need to find a rag to just wipe this down. Okay, we're just gonna get this a wipe around the reservoir housing. As you can see, there's 2 points here. Now this one will have the same bladder in here, or seal diaphragm, which prevents air from being sucked into the system. Just on a quick look now, there's no signs of any leaks anywhere. So we've got that out. Let's just crack that open. Oh. Right, I just cracked that open. So what we'll do is we'll just leave that right there for now, because there's bound to be some drips eventually. So what we'll do is we'll just have a look at the caliper. Okay, this is the rear brake caliper. As you can see, it's on the opposite side, because Aprilia's Rotax engine 122 has the chain drive on the opposite side. So the caliper's on this side. Here's your hydraulic hose coming in. This is your piston housing. This is the main body of the caliper. Your pads are in there, and this is the bleed nipple. Now it's on this side, but if you look at here where the top of the housing is, this is where the piston is inside. If you look at the top of it, this is actually higher. But we're going to be using an airline, and we'll grab hold of it. Where did I put it? Oh, there it is. Pull this out. Okay, this is a vacuum bled bleeding system, and the way it operates is that we connect the air line here, and when we pull this trigger, yeah, it creates a vacuum in here which then sucks the fluid through this tube and into the bottle. Yeah, so that tube will be connected to the bleed nipple. I'm just going to take this rubber thing off because it gets in the fucking way. Leave it down there. So I've got a nice view on there. And I've got a 10mm ring spanner. Oh, wrong one. Just bear with me. Okay, got the right one this time. 10mm ring spanner. These aren't very tight anyway. They're only nipped up. So when we come to bleed it, using the bleeder is connected up to the air line. The air compressor's already been set to about 15 psi, which is 1 bar. You don't need anything greater than that. In fact, 1 bar is probably a bit high for bleeding, but you'll hear the compressor kick in and out when it bleeds the air off. So the first thing we do first is we actually take some of the fluid out of the reservoir and then top it up with some fresh fluid. So I'm going to do that now. I use like a small syringe, so we'll see that. Okie doke. Right, okay. What I tend to use is just an ordinary syringe to get the stuff out. Oh Jesus, didn't realise that was hard to get into. Right, so I've got my syringe ready. All I'm going to use this for is to suck fluid out of there. I'll get my dot 4 ready. So I've got my dot 4 brake fluid that we checked yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. To make sure that was okay, and that's fine. So before we do anything, let's just crack this open. So I'm going to take the lid out of there. I'm going to... Ooh, this is really full. This is more in here than should be. So I've got a little container with old oil in, so I'm just going to open that. So what we're going to do is just suck this out of here. Squirt it in the old oil bit. And the good thing about this is we can take all this oil out of here because there's a flexible pipe here before it gets to the master cylinder, so there's no issues of the master cylinder getting any air in there. Not that it's going to make much difference anyway. So just get the rest of this crappy brake fluid out. Bit of a wipe out and a clean. Looks quite clean in there anyway. As I say, the fluid had a... I'm sure the first time I checked this fluid originally it was okay, but obviously I checked it on the last video and it wasn't okay, so we're going to replace it anyway. So the first thing we need to do is get the brake fluid and pour that into the reservoir. One of the things you don't do with brake fluid is you give it a good shake beforehand. Never ever do that. Oops, nearly lost you. Never ever do that. It just gets air bubbles into it, and you might have to leave it for a few days before you can actually use it. Right, so I'm going to top this up. Okie doke, good job we put a just getting some bits to one side. So it's good you'll put a rag there. Right, so we're going to have a look at the other side now, and I'm going to do a bit of bleeding. Okay everyone, right, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to crack this open. Ooh, that's a bit tight, shouldn't be that tight, mind you, it's probably not me move feet yet. There we are. Right, okay, that's all ready to go. So what we'll do is we'll connect this on the end of there. God, I'm up. I don't know what's wrong with me today. I think I should just give up today. Everything's just not going to plan. But we'll try. We'll get there. It's just that the camera's in front of me. And obviously that's going to cause an issue. So we'll make sure that's on there nicely done. I'll connect up the airline. To the unit. Just test that's working. Right, one thing you've got to remember here is when you're doing the using an air bleeder like this, is that reservoir empties very quickly. So what I would tend to do is open it up, walk round and just check the reservoir. Yep, so that's what we're going to do. I'm just going to crack that open. So before I do anything else, let's just get this in a position where it's going to work for us and not against us. God. I tell you what, when I'm doing this without pissing them out with the camera, it's so much easier. Anyway, let's see where we go with this. So I'll crack it open. So we'll come back round here to the reservoir. Right, I'll just bleed it off a bit. Something alright here. Just let's check something. Right, welcome back. Don't know what's going on there, but we sorted it. So just pull this down now and you can see that as I'm let's just get this back over here. If I didn't have a camera, this would be a lot fucking easier. Passing it out with a fucking camera. too much like bloody hard work, this. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to I'm just pumping it by hand at the moment. So if you look carefully, I don't know if you can see that or not. So what I do is now it's in here, I'm going to put pressure on the brake pedal, and then I'm going to open the bleed valve, bleed nipple that I show you where I connected the pipe. So I'm going to hold on to there and press it, open it, and it'll creep down, lock it off. Yeah, bring it back up, pressurise, open, shut. Okay, this is the manual method, which is what most of you guys will be doing. I don't know what's the matter with me bleeder, it seems to be really, really slow today. So we'll just keep bleeding this through. It's only a small cup on here, so we'll just keep doing it. That's feeling a lot firmer now. Let's just have a look at the reservoir. Get one more out of that. Top it up again. Oops, a little bit of a dribble. Good job there's a rag there. Right, try again. So sorry about that, folks. The vacuum bleeder seems to be a bit of a fail today. So we'll do it the old-fashioned way. Never fails normally, unless you how can I say it? Unless you repair master cylinder seal. So a bit of pressure, and you soon know anyway, because give it a few more bleeds. That's killing me now, because it's in such an awkward position here, because the brake caliper's on the other side and I'm going to reach over, bend me back. This is where there could be, if you were on a car, there'd be two of you doing this. And the idea is that as you, just before you get to full lever down, is you shut the bleed nipple off. Pressure, push, open. Pressure, push, open. Right, I'm just going to see how much fluid's gone in that, because you'd be surprised, there's not, doesn't usually, they don't usually take a lot of fluid. Just see how much has gone through. Well, there's quite a bit. Give it a few more flushes and top it up. Most of this would be, with some of you guys, would be showing you how to suck eggs basically, but it may have some interest into some people who might be watching who's never seen it done before. So anyway, we'll see where we go with this. push down, open, close. So it's basically push down, open, then close, then lift up. When you lift it up, what happens is the fluid comes down and recuperates in there. So when you bring it back up as well, I just bring it back, don't snap it up dead fast, bring it up just nice and easy. Just give it a couple of seconds before you press down again. Tuck that back up. That's nice and firm, that. Yeah, it's pretty nice and firm, that. It's definitely not losing any pressure. Right, give it a couple of more. Oh God, my back's killing me. This is not a good position to be in. Feels nice and firm, that. Right, let's just look where the maximum and minimum line is. It's a bit awkward to see. Because it's not as dirty now. Right. So the pads are relatively new. There's hardly any meat on it, so what we'll do is we'll just leave it, bring it up there like that. Just check there's no bubbles coming out. No, nothing coming out of there. Let's just check that level again. So when it's in there, that's on minimum. So we can put a little bit more in. Keep putting it on. It's just under maximum. I'm quite happy with that because there's obviously a bit of pad there. So the next thing you need to do is check this to make sure this seal, to make sure there's no splits or anything else in there, because like I said on the previous video, this is actually your atmospheric seal, so it keeps the system clean, stops shit from getting in there, and water, and keeps the atmosphere out. So we'll stop that on there like that. So this is a hard surface on here. You're probably more likely to get condensation inside the cap, and if you do get any, it's usually, you might find a little bit of moisture in there if you get water in there. If it bypasses the seal, but you shouldn't do. So we'll put this cap back on, tighten it up, just check that oil level. It's always hard to see, isn't it? Right, it's just under full. So that'll do us for this one. So what we'll do now is we'll just take the pipe off the caliper, and that's that done. Put this back on. Don't want to see me do that, it's just boring. Okie dokie.